In a small, peaceful village nestled between mountains and forests, there lived a young woman named Ilara, known for her kindness and strength. Ilara was the heart of her village, always offering a hand to those in need. But like any village, life there wasn't always easy. One year, a terrible drought struck. The rivers dried up, crops withered, and animals grew thin. The villagers, once joyful, became anxious and bitter. Each day they gathered at the village square, their faces etched with worry and fear. "What are we going to do?" the elders lamented. "Our crops are dead. There's no food for the winter, and the well is nearly dry." Ilara, seeing the despair on everyone's faces, felt the weight of the situation but refused to let it darken her spirit. While the villagers spent their time worrying about the drought, she looked for ways to make things better. She gathered the children and taught them how to collect dew in the early mornings to water small patches of vegetables. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The children found joy in this little task, and soon a small garden flourished, providing the village with fresh vegetables. Yet the drought continued, and things grew harder. Some villagers lost hope entirely, ready to leave the land they had called home for generations. "Why should we stay?" they asked. "Nothing will grow. It's hopeless." But Ilara wasn't ready to give up. One evening she stood before the village and spoke. "I know times are tough. I know it's hard to see the light when everything around us feels dark. But what good will leaving do? We cannot control the rain, but we can control our hearts. Look at the garden we made, even with no rain. Look at the strength we still have in our hands, in our unity. If we give up, we lose everything. But if we stay and fight, we at least have a chance." The villagers, moved by her words, began to see things differently. Inspired by Ilara's unwavering hope, they started working together. They dug deeper wells, shared what little food they had, and supported one another. Ilara taught them how to store water, plant drought-resistant crops, and even build shelters for the animals to protect them from the heat. Weeks passed, and though the drought persisted, the village thrived. They weren't rich with water or food, but they were rich in spirit. The bonds between them grew stronger, and they found joy in the small victories they achieved together. One day, as they worked in the fields, a cool breeze swept through the village. The sky, which had been a dull, unrelenting gray for so long, began to darken with clouds. The villagers looked up, a flicker of hope in their hearts. Moments later, a soft drizzle began to fall, and soon, rain poured down from the heavens, soaking the dry earth. The villagers cheered and danced in the rain, tears of joy mingling with the droplets on their faces. They had survived the drought not just because of the rain, but because they had chosen to remain positive and hopeful when all seemed lost. As the village flourished once more, Ilara became a symbol of what it means to stay positive in the darkest of times. She reminded them all that while they couldn't control the storms of life, they could always choose how they faced them. And sometimes that choice to be positive in the face of adversity was all it took to turn things around. Moral of the story: no matter how difficult the situation, staying positive and working together can transform even the most dire circumstances. It's our attitude that shapes our reality, not the challenges we face.